Hey everyone, in today's video we are going to take a look at this watercolor Sable brushes that are made by Panart Global, a company based in India. This is the third set of watercolor brushes that were sent to me to review. I have already reviewed the earlier two sets, which are the synthetic Sable and the synthetic brush. So you may want to check those reviews out before you watch this video, or you can watch this and then watch the earlier videos. Some of the characteristics of Sable hair brushes are their ability to snap back to shape, and for round brushes their ability to retain a sharp point, and lastly they can hold a lot of water and paint. And here we have the bronze colored metal ferrule. Now these brushes are available in different sizes and shapes. So it says here that this brush can be used with water and oil. Check out the texture of this body. It's really beautiful. The surface is glossy. This is made in India. Let me show you the other brush, the flat brush. So each wooden body would have a different texture, so all the brushes would actually look different. This wood is made with densified wood. According to their marketing tags, it says here that this is wood with double the density of natural wood. So the densified wood is supposed to be very solid. Let me compare that to an Escoda brush. So when I tap on it, I can definitely feel how solid it is. This feels a bit hollow. So the build quality is definitely excellent. And notice the shape of the handle. It's different compared to typical brushes. So with this brush, it's actually thicker at the back here, and then it tapers down to a smaller diameter nearer to the ferrule. But with typical brushes, it's the other way around, where it's thicker here nearer to the ferrule, and then it tapers down to the end. This is still quite comfortable to hold despite the thicker back, although I do prefer the handle to be thicker where the fingertips are. One disadvantage to having a thicker back is if you are using those brush tubs with holes at the top for you to put your brushes, the thicker handle may not go in all the way or may not go in at all. So with a tapered end, it's easier to push the brush all the way in, and obviously this is going to be more secure and safer for your brushes. Now for me, I have clips on the side of my table. So sometimes I would put my brushes here like this, but with this, I don't think it's safe enough. In fact, I don't think it can even go in. Before we test the brushes, let's wash off the glue or the thing that is holding the hair together. So I'm going to compare the Sable brush with synthetic brush to let you see the difference. This is the synthetic hairbrush that I'm going to compare with the Sable hairbrush. So see the shape of the hair, it's different compared to the Sable hair. The Sable has more belly, and this allows it to hold more water. On this sheet of watercolor paper, I'm going to test the water holding capacity of the synthetic brush and whether or not it can release paint consistently and evenly, and how well it is, how good it is when it comes to tapering or snapping back to a point. This is starting to dry out, so we can only get 2 lines on this 9-inch piece of paper. And now we have the Sable hairbrush. Now both brushes are size 8. But with the Sable hair, it seems like I can get a thicker stroke. The Sable is definitely more flexible, that's why I'm able to get a thicker stroke. Now the way the paint releases on both brushes, they are quite similar, regardless of whether it's Sable or synthetic. So the Sable hairbrush can definitely hold more water. Note that the thickness of these 3 strokes here, they are thicker compared to the strokes from the synthetic brush. And now let's see how good the brush is at snapping back to its shape. So I'm going to press down hard and lift it back up again slowly. So this brush is able to do a good job snapping back to its shape. So if you take a look here, it seems like I was able to start with a very sharp point, but as I lift up, the ends here, they aren't tapering back to a sharp thin line. So there is something wrong with this brush that I have. Sable hair bristles should always go back to a single point. So if you see something like this where there are 2 or 3 points, that could mean that your sable hair, your sable brush may be damaged. So when it comes to buying brushes, there is an element of risk. This is not specific to Panart Global or other brands or specific to Sable versus synthetic brushes. It's just that sometimes when you buy brushes, the hair may not come in tip-top condition. So for this brush that I have here, I am going to condition it with some brush soap to help it get back into shape. So now I'm going to paint this quick sketch that I have here with the 2 brushes. I'm going to wet the paper surface first with this flat brush. So this flat brush can hold a lot of water as well. The paper is now sufficiently wet, so let me just paint the sky with some cerulean blue. Maybe some dark clouds. Too much water here, so I'm going to pick up the excess paint. Next, I'm going to switch to my round brush to paint this side. You can see that it really holds a lot of water. So now I have to pick up the excess paint again. Let's see if I can get into these tight corners. So with a proper sable hair, you should be able to go into the tight corners. You should be able to paint details very easily. And each time you lift up the brush, it should go back to a point. So the next time you put a stroke down, you can go into the details again. So the brush that I have here, I think the hair is not in the perfect condition. So it's a bit challenging for me, but still I'm able to go into the sharp corners pretty easily. So this is where it's very difficult to paint the details if you do not have a sharp point. So I tried to taper the point as sharp as I can. So with this brush that I have, I definitely need to recondition this to get a sharp point. Alright, just to conclude, I enjoyed painting with these 2 brushes. They perform just as I would expect of Sable brushes. They can carry and hold a lot of water and paint. The hair is soft, but it can spring back to shape. And even though this particular round brush that I have has some issues with sprayed hair, I was still able to paint the details that I wanted. The thin lines going into the sharp and tight corners with this brush. I just have to make a more conscious effort to shape the hair back into a point. These are good brushes. Anyway, with sable hair, you can always expect them to perform quite well. By the way, if you are not into sable hair or animal hair brushes because of animal rights, you can check out the synthetic sable brush from Panart Global. I'll put a link to where you can find a review for this in the video description below. Basically, this brush performs quite similarly to sable hair, except that it uses synthetic hair here. To check out more art product reviews, do subscribe to my YouTube channel. I hope today's video is helpful. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Bye!